Introduction. If you do not know anyone who has been impacted by layoffs, whether from the manager or employee or laid off survivor perspective, you may be living under a rock, or better yet, you are a fortunate soul. My hope is that your organization can instead leverage alternatives to layoffs to prevent the devastating impact that layoffs can cause. While there are numerous articles, blogs, books, and resources for laid-off employees, the availability of such material or resources when it comes to managing layoffs from a leadership perspective are few and far between. This book begins to fill the existing gap and provides insight into a manager's involvement with layoffs through stories based on evidence I obtained from the experiences of past research participants. I then took my research and applied it to fictional situations to provide you with an enhanced comprehension of the provided management tips. It embraces all levels of management, from frontline managers up through the senior executive ranks, regardless of industry. This book is a guide like no other, providing managers with tips on how to more effectively communicate regardless of whether layoffs are expected, unexpected, or not even on the horizon. To ensure we're on the same page regarding terminology, the term layoffs or layoff is defined within this book as the elimination of existing employees' positions, and it is synonymous with the term downsizing. When it comes to layoffs, this book is an essential source of information for managers to have on hand and use to effectively transform into action. The layoff roller coaster. Layoffs have moved to the forefront of survival for organizations as the quickest way to cut costs and bring about immediate, visible improvements to the bottom line. The increase in globalization, technological advances, deregulation, and growing domestic and foreign competition has led to an increased use of layoffs to reduce expenses and achieve greater efficiency and effectiveness. In some instances, employees could see the writing on the wall due to their company's experience with financial, regulatory, legal, a competitive market, or other significant issues. Unfortunately, there are also many cases where employees felt they had no indication or clue that layoffs were imminent. In 1996, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics first recorded mass layoffs. That is, layoffs involving 50 or more employees in an organization. There is a correlation between mass layoffs and gross domestic product, or GDP, as whenever the gross domestic product decreases significantly, such as in 2001, 2008, and 2009, mass layoffs increase dramatically. Here are just a few examples of internet search result headlines related to layoffs during the time frames noted above. Boeing to lay off up to 30,000, September 19th, 2001, CNN.com. Big job cuts at Bank of America, December 11th, 2008, NewYorkTimes.com. Caterpillar moves to cut 20,000 jobs, NewYorkTimes.com, 2009. Although the Bureau of Labor Statistics stopped recording mass layoffs as of March 2013 due to governmental budget cuts, news and social media platforms reveal that layoffs are on the rise again. In correlation, a dip in gross domestic product has occurred, which represents that history is likely continuing to repeat itself. Here are examples of internet search results headlines related to more recent layoffs that support this. Microsoft cuts 18,000 jobs, July 17th, 2014, CNN.com. Macy's layoffs, over 4,000 jobs being cut, January 6th, 2016, CNNmoney.com. Lowe's lays off, 2017, worst kept secret in corporate history, thelayoff.com. With the continued use of layoffs across numerous industries, it is interesting that limited additional studies or materials have become available to support managers within those organizations or to prepare for, implement, and recover from these traumatic events. Organizational change studies. Organizations endure a significant amount of change based on numerous factors, including but not limited to globalization, technological advances, deregulation, and growing domestic and foreign competition. Organizational change can occur in one of two ways. One, reorganizing roles and/or eliminating jobs, or two, creating efficiencies in business processes. Leadership teams often find it difficult to change in one aspect without blending into the other. Therefore, people and processes are normally impacted. In 1930, Kurt Lewin's Harwood studies broke significant ground in organizational change and organizational behavior research, and helped to move his work on change from the laboratory to the office or from theory to practice. The Harwood studies, like many other organizational studies, such as the Hawthorne experiments, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Herzberg's work on motivation, and McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y approach to management, provided meaningful and continually useful contributions to organizational literature. Within the organizational change research, numerous studies related to layoffs have taken place. The primary focus of these studies has been on the impact of layoffs on employees, whether looking at downsized employees or survivors. Two studies were found that provided a focus on managers involved in layoffs. One of these studies was from Armstrong Stassen, who compared executive and middle-level managers relative to job security and performance, use of coping skills, and health symptoms before, during, and after downsizing. The other study was conducted by Gandolfi, who studied a single case of Australian bank managers' experience through downsizing. Both studies focused on specific factors of the managers' experiences throughout downsizing, with only one being conducted on managers within the United States. This makes it unrealistic to try to generalize any of the findings. Despite the popularity of layoffs as a tactical means for businesses to stay afloat, limited literature or research focuses on the manager's experience throughout a layoff situation. This book is one step in the direction of providing a focus and guidance to managers in their time of greatest need.